Welcome to episode 290. We are now in the final week of May, and this marks the last of our COVID-19 podcast episodes. From next week, I am thrilled to say that our normal weekly show returns, and I have an incredible special guest joining me. So make sure that you listen out for that episode. It will be available from Wednesday, June the 1st. For today, though, I have two fantastic guests for our In the Trenches COVID-19 interview. In part one of today's episode, you'll hear from Jose Teixeira, the head of customer experience at SC Fitness in Portugal. Then in part two, I speak with Kristin Davis, the co-owner and co-founder of Illuminate Sweat, a boutique fitness studio based in Houston, Texas. Enjoy this week's show. Hi everyone, and welcome along to our very special series. Now, throughout COVID-19, the Fitness Business Podcast is supporting you with a series of interviews with fitness industry experts and leaders from right across the world. Now, today's interview is brought to you by our partner, MyZone. And my special guest for today is a familiar face and a good friend of the show, Jose Teixeira. He's the head of customer experience at SC Fitness in Portugal. Jose, welcome and thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
It is an absolute pleasure, and I'm so glad that we've had a chance to catch up, and you and I were just having a quick chat. We hope starting to see a bit of a light at the end of this COVID tunnel, and we're recording this in mid-May. So I know that right around the world, we're starting to see a few changes, a few restrictions starting to lift. Every country is different, and even states and territories within those countries are different. So let's start off today. Perhaps give us a little bit of a background about SC Fitness in case anyone isn't familiar with the organisation. And maybe you could also just give us a snapshot of what the COVID landscape is like currently in Portugal.
Okay, so SC Fitness is a Portuguese company. It's a part of a group that has a lot of businesses called Sonai, that has food retail, telecom, etc. We are the fitness business of the company. We right now have 37 clubs. We have one premium club that is called One Wellness Clubs. We have our value for money brand, Solinka, that has 21 clubs. And then we have a low-cost brand, Pump, that has 15 clubs. So total 37. Our turnover is about around 40 million euros last year. This year, probably it won't be this size. And we have over 100,000 members. And in a few days, we'll see if we can keep most of them active when we reopen. So the landscape in Portugal right now is that we are starting to see some movement from our government. The Portuguese Association made some lobbying and pressure with the government, and we are having talks with the government to open in the beginning of June. So we are starting to see a light in the end of the tunnel. It's kind of awkward to see the priorities of some governments that open theaters, cinemas, restaurants, fast food, and fitness is the last. I understand obviously the health part of it is really important, and we are responsible. We agree with that. But if we can put some measures and some security and hygiene, we can open because we are health clubs, not problem clubs. So, but this is going to be changed in the next weeks. I hope in Portugal we can open our clubs because we closed in mid-March. So we are in the second month, at the end of the second month of closure. We are really, really anxious to get back into business.
Yeah, I could imagine, Jose. And I think that point that you raise about, theatres and restaurants and other industries reopening before fitness, it is one of the most common themes that I'm hearing from right across the world, and that is where the fitness industry is positioned as far as, our essential services are concerned, how it is seen by the government and by people in each of those countries. And I think that we have globally recognized that there needs to be some repositioning so that there is a better understanding of just the role that fitness plays in the health of people in general. So, and I think certainly as far as reopening the doors, I think globally so many operators out there are committed to making sure that they're following the new standards, the cleaning standards, whatever it is that we have to do to get these clubs reopened. So I think the sentiment is certainly global. And you just mentioned that you've come through, you're coming towards the end of the second month, and I think a lot of us are in a similar time frame. We certainly are here in Australia. During that period, was SC Fitness, any of the brands in your group, were they continuing to service members through virtual programming or offering anything, or did that completely stop during this time?
We did a lot of things. So when we closed, I was in Chicago going to URSA because I was going to be inducted as a board member of URSA. And then this pandemic just escalated. And I came back, and I was in the plane doing my part of the strategy. And when I landed in Portugal on Saturday, 14th of March, my CEO, I was traveling to a quarantine place because I was in an airplane in the night. So I was talking with my CEO, and we are discussing the strategy. And we started this Saturday launching content, putting our team doing things. So we were really quick. The first thing we thought is that we need to have content to our members and also to the public to engage with them and to keep our instructors motivated and working, because almost every instructor we have have a contract with us. So we pay them a salary. We have some freelancers, but most part of our team is with a salary, with a contract. So we did some things. We did challenges. So everyone would record a 15-second challenge to put on social media to engage with members. We did 30-minute classes that we are putting each day since the closure until now. We are still moving on with 30-minute classes each day for each brand for our members. Nutrition and fitness articles. We have articles and tips until December 2021. So because we have around 300 instructors doing articles and recording, we have a lot of instructors doing that. So we have a huge amount of content that we put on for our members. And also we launched our online gym. We had an omni-channel project that was aiming to get out on the market in 2022, and we did it in 2 weeks. So 2 years in 2 weeks. We launched our gym online with almost 200 classes a week, recorded at the instructor's home, some now in the studio, because, when governments give chance of opening at least to work the studios, we can record the studios. We launched last week because the government put on a law that allows group fitness classes outdoor for 5 members. We did 2 venues in our 2 main cities to have around 250 classes a week, which short amount of people, because maximum number of people is 5 members and instructors, 6 people together. So we are putting some also outdoor gym available for members. So I need to also talk a little bit about the key strategy points that we launched from the beginning. The first one is really important for the industry, is no free content. So we give some content, limited content, to get members engaged, but this content is paid. The online gym, the outdoor gym is paid. If you have your membership, if you continue to pay your membership, you get it for free. If you freeze your membership, because we did it to all our membership base, if you want to do it without paying your monthly fee, you can pay a class or a subscription fee for the online gym. This is really important for us. The second part is to keep personal trainers engaged. So they are using an online platform, this Whereby, so they can do digital workouts. At the beginning, people didn't want to do, but when they saw this was a 2 or 3 month period of closure, we started to get a lot of people rolling in the digital part of it. So we have around 20% of the normal revenue active for the personal trainers. So I will believe that all this digital content will stay. It will not go over. Then we had some obviously clear tasks for everyone, and especially we have some changes in role descriptions because I had some guys who work in our business intelligence department or instructors that are really audio and video guys or video editing, etc. So we now change some job descriptions because everyone needs to do something at the moment. So everyone helps. It's easier. Also, our lead team did a war room. So each week we discuss the strategy. It's really important at this time to think and to do the best for the company. So we had some phases. We had the first phase, quick reaction to the closure. We did that. Then we started to look at costs and cost structure. We did that also. Started to plan what to do, and now we are really focused on preparing the reopening. So we purchased all the protection equipment. All the clubs are ready to open since 4th of May. And there was no chance the clubs were opening on that date because the government didn't allow us to do. But we said, well, if we can't open, we are prepared to do it. So we are really prepared to open tomorrow if we can. And this was the full strategy. So now we are just waiting for the okay to go, because we have a lot of things to do to recover from this closure.
Absolutely, Jose. So lots of questions in that, but I do want to just start off by saying congratulations on being inducted into the URSA board. Even though it physically didn't quite happen, that is just so well deserved and just wonderful to have you part of that board moving forward. Now, a couple of questions for you. The first one is, you made a really interesting comment in regards to content, because I know that there's a lot of operators and trainers out there that are big believers in giving away free content, and you made it very clear that that's not the strategy for SC Fitness, that it needs to be part of either their current membership or a paid membership. Explain that a little bit more to me. What's the strategy behind that? Obviously, it's an important part of your revenue, but what's your belief in regards to free content delivery versus paid content delivery?
You know, you can get some content for free because people need to know what type of content do you sell. So that's why we do the challenges, 15-second challenge every day, and the class. But some classes we put it on public. But keep in mind that our members pay membership fees. So if you give everything for free, first, your members can say, well, why do I pay a membership if they give access to everyone? So I'm going to send a lot of content to my members because I want to keep them engaged, and because they have a contract with me, and because they pay membership fees. That's one of the things. The second one is that instructors don't live with air and water. They live because they earn money. So if I cannot monetize my product or my service, I cannot give them money. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm keeping our freelancers, for example, engaged in receiving some money, because I can earn some money, I can distribute money to them. So for us, it's really important to see, and this movement, people are getting used to go to YouTube or Facebook and get content for free. That's okay, some of it, but you need to live on monetizing things. Your business is a transaction. So maybe we can look at this, give some of it, but if you do it for free, people will get used to it and will say to you, now I will not pay for it, because this is a commodity right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing we don't want to do ever in our business, because you see how the market is going the last 20 years, fitness, the membership fees are going down. The first Solinka club, the monthly fee was 100 euros a month in 1995. Now the average monthly fee is around 35, 40 euros. So everything changed, everything went up, rent, electricity, and we are going down. If we commoditize our business, if it's for free, we will not have a business. But everyone is happy to do this, but no money involved. And also, we need to put fitness more in the motivation and health part of it. The entertainment part of the fitness is really good. We do an excellent job, but we don't do a good job motivating people and doing the health part of it. And that's key right now. Chantal, everyone can work out at home, outdoor, but it's not the same. That's what I think as an operator, that I will lose customers for the unemployment rate or for the I have no money part of it. I cannot lose customers because, well, it's the same to work out at home. It's impossible. So we need to put a project to give motivation to members and to give health. And this has to be paid because we are fitness professionals. Almost every one of my instructors are really good instructors. They have a degree, they are talented, and they deserve to be paid by the content they deliver to members.
Very, very well said, Jose. And one of the words that you used in there was motivation or keeping people motivated. And it occurred to me that all of those employees that you have been able to keep engaged with the brand because they've continued to create content and engage with the members, how has the motivation worked for them? Because I'm sure, like everyone else in the world, we all went through this period of shock and everyone was affected in some way by the news of COVID-19, personally and professionally. How were you able to keep all of your team members motivated and engaged with the brand at a time that they were physically distant from it? They weren't working in the clubs, they were working from home. Were there any other ways that you kept them motivated throughout this time?
I think it was a job that we made the last 4 or 5 years to create a culture of just giving everything we have. It was natural for us to have our instructors by our side. And this is difficult because some of them I'm not working full-time right now because we need to save some money. But even without instructors, and some of them are facing some difficulties all over the country, but also our instructors are facing challenges. They understand that they need to help the company. The company is ours, not because we possess them, but because we work on them. It's like this is part of us. One of the things we need to do is communicate and give them confidence that we will thrive. Obviously, the company is a big company. They feel that we are not at risk of closing. This is important for us also. The part of giving confidence to listen to what they have to say. Look, we are preparing the reopening, and we have a group, a think tank of 25 instructors doing proposals for the reopening. So don't think that someone really smart at the top of the company does all the things. It's impossible. This is a teamwork. I will believe that one part of the motivation is culture. The other is I feel I'm responsible for keeping this company great. That's what I feel with people. Obviously, some are upset. Some are with problems because they have family members that are infected or with problems. But communication is key to get them engaged and involved, and we will get through this moment. Obviously, when we continue to give tasks to them, if you have to record a class, do an article or a podcast, you feel like you are contributing to the company to stay afloat. So I would believe that this is almost everything bad for us, money-wise, financially-wise. But obviously, I'm an optimistic guy. I think and I will reiterate that financially this is a disaster, but we will get stronger as an industry and as a company because we are going to pass through this storm. It's going to be a big storm because probably some guys will lose their job, some companies will go bankrupt, and this is a huge problem for us. Some people will get some tough days, but I believe that the fitness industry will boom after this. Chantal, everyone needs us. This industry is the only thing that can help the human body to survive a virus like this. It's fitness and nutrition. It's our business. It has our name written. We saw some the first scientific studies about COVID saying 96% of people who die have a poor physical activity, have a high body mass index above 25. So everything that we stand for against, I will see that 2 years from now, we'll get a boom in, not right now because everyone is scared about leaving their houses and going to crowded places. But when the thing goes back to whatever normal it is, people will go more for their health, not because their car doesn't help them, the money, the houses, everything material doesn't help. Their health and their well-being is more important. So fitness is first. We will go up in the necessity ladder on people's mind, but we have to navigate through a storm. So it's a difficult way to do it, but we need to do it anyway.
I love that, Jose. We will go up on the necessity ladder, and people do need us and need our industry. And I love your positive outlook and sort of looking towards the future of what things might look like. And we will absolutely, I'm a firm believer as well, that we will be stronger off the back of this time. Now, just to wrap everything up today, Jose, we did talk briefly. You mentioned that pretty much from the 4th of May, you were ready to reopen those doors. So for our Keep Me Fit Bizspiration today, what advice would you give to club owners and operators out there to ensure that their clubs and their team are prepared for reopening their doors when the time comes?
So first of all, try to do scenarios, different scenarios. Be prepared. Prepare for the worst, for not having members, or for the best, having all of them back. So prepare scenarios. But to be really prepared to reopen, you need to have your staff prepared, because we are all concerned with our members. But keep in mind that our instructors pass 8 hours, 10 hours a day in our gym. So they are the ones who will get the exposure to the virus right now. So keep them safe, keep them confident, because they are doing a good thing to the society. Prepare and train them with videos. Go step by step to the member journey, because it will all change. People will get temperature. Well, every club has its own measure in every country. The temperature, the hygiene, if you appoint or not your entry at the club, the new normal on the pool, on the group fitness. And especially one key message is to treat members with a covered smile, because we have masks. People cannot see our smile, but they will see the positive part of the business. They will go back to the clubs and see, well, this was a really good part of my life. I miss this. I am in a good place. I really miss the positivity, because when you go to a fitness club, you see instructors smiling and with energy and doing the good part of your day. You are going to be your face covered, but you need to engage positivity with members so that they can be motivated to come back. Because if everyone is like masks and some things for their face, and this look like nuclear place. I usually talk, it looks like Chernobyl. Don't do that. You need to obviously to protect your members and protect your staff. Give as normal feel as you can in the club, so that the member doesn't go to the club and see all the things out of service, classes with 1 or 2 people, and if he loses the engagement that he has. So one advice that I give is to really plan, but treat members really well, welcome them. Some one guy in the webinar told me, "Are you going to throw a party?" And I said, "I'm not into parties right now because we are really focused on reopening, really serious about financing our businesses." Yes, he was right. We need to make a good thing of it when we reopen because we don't have any chance. And then also try to have a plan to recover member usage because this is going to be key. Paul Bedford is always saying usage. I'm a huge follower of Paul and a friend of his.
We love Paul.
And the thing is always right. And when we have all the members are sleepers because they are not at our gyms for 60 days, you look at them and you see what are the new normal, what kind of behavior are they going to do. So my advice is to wait and see the first 15 days, see how much members can you collect, if they return or not, if they cancel, if they suspend their memberships. And 15 days after you open, you have a clear image of the damage or not that your company has. So that the scenario that I was talking about, to be prepared to lose 20%, 10%, 50%, all the members, have all scenarios in place because you cannot be surprised if a lot of people cancel. People are out of jobs, people are moving, they are afraid to leave their homes. The governments, depends on the government if they feel that fitness is important. Look at the UK. People, Boris Johnson is now saying we are going to fight obesity. That's huge for the fitness market. But at the same time, they are opening in October. So you have good news, bad news. Be prepared for all the scenarios because when you open, you have to look are you going to get a second wave? Are people having afraid of you? Just look what type of members enter the facility. Older, younger, men, women, what kind of members? Are the routines and routes of the members are going to change? Business people are going to stay at home at least until December. So are they changing their routines? Are corporate gyms going to lose the proximity factor? So a lot of doubts. I don't have the answers. My advice is be prepared, make all kinds of scenarios, and then stick with what happens in your club, in your country, in your city, because you need to react fast. If any word I could give from this pandemic, it will be agility. Act fast, move fast, and for some companies is not easy, but you need to be agile. You don't know if you are going to be a mid-market, a low-cost, or a premium operator. You need to see what happens. So no one has the answers. My advice will be prepared for any scenario.
Jose, I think that word that you just used is so key. Have agility, be agile. And I think it is the operators that have been agile and made those swift changes and also been fluid and been willing to make those changes that we've seen starting to survive through this time. So Wonderful advice. And I also just want to acknowledge your advice around looking at different scenarios. So don't assume anything, be prepared for absolutely anything that could possibly happen because we do not know. This is uncharted territory, so look at all different scenarios. And the advice that you've shared with us today has been so valuable, Jose. So we are very, very grateful that you took the time to join us on the show here today. I know it won't be the last time. I really look forward to the next time that you join us, as we did back in December of last year. But just very best wishes to you and to all of the team at SC Fitness. I hope that, we start to see that light at the end of the tunnel sooner rather than later. We are absolutely feeling this all over the world. So we're grateful for your contribution today, and thank you for sharing that advice with all of the FBP family.
Thank you, Chantal. It was a really pleasure to come back to the show and to be able to share. I think the industry will be recognized as the industry who moved faster in the market. I'm really grateful that almost every operator in the world, even my competitors, reacted really well. Everyone giving things free or not, But the lesson we will take for this pandemic is our industry is one of the greatest industries in the world. So I'm really grateful being part of it. And your role in it is also incredible to be able to give this content to members all around the world and to share experiences. Thank you a lot.
Oh, absolute pleasure. I feel very blessed to be able to do this. So, Jose, all the best, and we will catch up with you again soon. Now it's my pleasure to welcome our second guest this week, Kristin Davis. Hi everyone, and welcome to another special edition of our COVID-19 series. Now, the Fitness Business Podcast is supporting you through COVID-19 with this series, a special video interviews with key industry owners and managers from right across the world. Today's interview is brought to you by our friends at MyZone, and my special guest for today is Kristen Davis. She's the co-owner and co-founder of Illuminate Sweat. What a phenomenal business name. Kristen, welcome along. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. This is wonderful.
So tell everyone, whereabouts in the States are you based? And just give us a bit of an overview about the business.
So we are based out of Houston, Texas. We are a boutique fitness studio, and we do group fitness training there. We actually opened our doors for a soft opening in December, had our grand opening February 22nd, and closed March 20th. And so what we do is we are a high-intensity interval training studio, and our claim to fame is that we do personal training in a group setting. So we're very results-oriented. You're going to get a really unique workout with us. And we like to say that this is the perfect workout because you actually get to lift weights, heavy weights in our classes, but also do the cardio part that's going to burn fat. So it's a real fun environment, group setting, but personal training results. So.
What a roller coaster 2020 must have been for you so far. Yeah. I mean, to have just opened your doors and then obviously COVID has hit. So let's talk about current day, because we're recording this sort of halfway through May. I know that you're only about 48 hours off from reopening your doors. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what COVID has meant to the business over this time and what you've done with the business over the last 8 weeks or so.
So, yes. So we, when COVID happened, we obviously, like every other business owner, had to transition really quickly. And one thing that we were lucky in some sense, is that we were closely watching the rest of the world, the rest of the country, and had kind of seen where it was going. And so we had an inkling that we at some point were going to have to close, but we were one of the last in Texas to actually have to do it. So that last week when we had started social distancing, we had already started online training, and it was very raw. And it was, looking back at some of those videos, it was, almost a pat on our back about how far we've come. But what was good is that we transitioned very quickly for our members because we are so new. We wanted to make sure that we had provided as much value as possible to them right out of the gate. And so we started online training immediately. It, of course, has evolved. And one of our biggest things was that we wanted to make sure that our motto was that nobody could come to us and say that we hadn't tried to provide value to them. So whatever that looked like. So we had all of our members, we do diets in-house. And so we reached out to all of our members and asked if they wanted a personal diet. We have loaned equipment. We have continued meal supports. We do meals, pre-made meals in-house. And so we continue those orders. We deliver it curbside. We do supplements. We do anything and everything we could do to provide value. But most of our what our members loved was our virtual live training classes. And we put a lot of effort into making those classes phenomenal. So we used our fancy cameras. We tried to make the setup really nice. We just tried to make that just a really fun environment for all of them, that they would want to come to class every day and, and be a part of the group. And so, going back, what's good is that we're going to probably continue that on because it's been so successful. And a lot of members, we are going to get to go back this week. And so we're super excited, but some members, of course, aren't quite ready, which we understand that. So we're going to be able to provide the value on both sides now, in studio and online.
That is really exciting. It's exciting that you are starting that transition to move back into some studio work as well, but great that you're able to offer those online services. And I thought what was particularly significant about what you just talked about is your motto and how important it was that you provided value in some way, shape or form for your members during that time. So, Kristin, can I ask you about the financial side of things? What did you do in order to keep the business financial during COVID? Are you a membership-based model? Did you continue to charge membership fees, or was there a different fee for online classes versus in-club membership?
Well, what we decided was that for our members, people who are currently paying, we were, very blessed that nobody canceled. I can't believe to actually say that. Yeah, that was just such a blessing. And I'm sure everybody knows, we're a brand new business. But again, we did try to do our part as well. And we didn't have anybody cancel. We just had a few freezes. And so with all of those, we automatically provided all the online classes, as well as an online portal that they could go to on demand and access all of our old videos. And but then because we as a new business, we need to keep growing. And so I was excited about this opportunity that we would have probably not ever pursued and been able to reach a whole new market. So we set up a whole new membership model for the online. And we converted our online ads to online immediately. Literally, I think it was March 20th, our first online ad actually rolled out. And so we got pretty aggressive trying to promote online as soon as possible out of the gates, because we not only wanted to survive, but we wanted to thrive. And so I'm like, let's make lemonade out of lemons. And so we did it. And we also found too, we realized that a lot of, because of what we provide in studio with the nutrition component and the personal training, is that we had just finished an 8-week challenge in studio, and it was super popular. We had gotten a bunch of new members. So we thought, hey, we'll do that online. So we came up with a 30-day bet on sweat challenge. Like, during these uncertain times, you can bet on sweat. And so we came up with an actual, and it's currently running right now, is a full-blown 30-day challenge. And the winner gets $500, and they get a diet. They get a bikini competition-style diet. So the diet's updated weekly. They have to do check-ins. It's the whole bit. And so that was actually our most successful online membership that we had. I believe we signed up about, I want to say 42 people for that. And so in a very short amount of time. And so for us, that was exciting because we were able to just, do something positive for people and for us in the midst of the chaos. So
that is just brilliant. And I think really interesting to hear that when sort of as soon as all of this hit and the changes came into place, that you actually didn't stop your marketing, you didn't stop your spending, you just changed the angle that you were actually marketing to that online angle. Did you reduce your overall spend, or did you spend your normal marketing budget throughout COVID?
We spent our normal budget, and mainly, I know that everybody has a different way of thinking, but I felt that since we were new and that because of what was going on, I knew that a lot of people had pulled back, so that ad spend would be a lot less for us. So we'd get a lot more exposure probably than we had even had before. And so that was exciting. And we also made our radius bigger. So we were trying to reach, obviously, people that we wouldn't have normally been able to come to the gym. And so we just decided to, press forth and keep going, because I thought we already budgeted for it. We're just going to spend it.
Really great example, and congratulations on the results that you've received as part of doing that promotion. So it makes sense now what you said earlier in relation to some of our members will come back, but some of them will remain doing those online options, and you've obviously really evolved as far as your online videos are concerned. So talk to us about what the next few months looks like for you. Are you going to continue to create that online content, given now that you've got a base established and you've got people that are just using that? What does the next couple of months look like?
So we decided, because this is, you have to think about the world in terms of what it is now. And people are going to probably start working from home more than they ever have. There's going to be a lot of changes that are probably going to stay as a result. And so we've decided to build in online training into our actual programming. And so, and we've actually planned to add a few more spots. There is, some give and take about how you're like, oh, we got to cut this class, 15 minutes short to move all the equipment in and out. But we're super excited because now a member doesn't have to necessarily pause their membership if they know they're going on a work trip for 2 weeks. They can actually keep up with us and know that they're going to continue to be on the program with us. And so it's been really exciting. I mean, even we've had a lot of, this is a random byproduct that we never even thought would happen, is that we've had a lot of interest in Spanish speaking. We've gotten a lot of leads that were Spanish speaking, and Houston has a big Spanish speaking population. And so starting Monday, we're going to offer some live classes in Spanish. And we saw that that's actually something that's completely underserved in our market. And so we're going to test it on Monday and run with it. Why not? We can just try it.
And what an amazing outcome. I think that says so much, that there was this whole untapped market that was out there, that it was only as a result of this, that everything you've gone through, that you realize this, and this could be a whole nother revenue stream for your business.
Yes. It's so exciting because it definitely is it's great for everybody, because there, like you said, it was underserved, and there's a need for people that they might feel more comfortable with a Spanish speaker, even though they speak English. But how great would it be? They could get super specific about training with a personal trainer. And so even though what's been interesting is the technology piece of that and what all can come from it. It's been exciting. And so we're going to start that this week when we open. So
that is super exciting. So tell me, what sort of feedback have you had from your members, the ones that have been really active during this time? I mean, what sort of impact has it had on their lives to be able to stay active at a time of so much change in the rest of the world and the rest of our lives?
I think that has been the most fun part, is that, usually they say people only say something when they complain, but it's been the opposite with the healthcare, is that every day we get to see our members in person. We get to push them, and they are so grateful. They leave messages and comments to us. Thank you for what you're doing. This is so great. So that's been awesome to kind of co-feed off of each other, that, we're in this together and we'll do whatever it takes to help you along. And so they've been, everybody who's new and old that has stuck with us, like I said, everybody stuck with us, has been just over the top supportive and thankful for all of our efforts, which, pushes you. So
yeah, it's a great encouragement. So you mentioned earlier, I just want to touch on promotions again a little bit, because you mentioned that you've done promotions in the past. You've got, I think you said, the 30-day one running currently. Do you run your promotions or your activity back to back, or do you leave a gap in between? And either way, what's coming next as far as your promotional activity goes?
So because we're so new, we were not intending to run things back to back, because we had in the programming scheduled a 6-week summer shred that was supposed to start right after Easter, and it was supposed to be, you would basically be in bikini shape by Memorial Day, which in the US obviously is, go on the boat, go to the beach, have, you got to be bikini ready by.
It's good motivation.
Yeah. So that's like a good time. So we had planned that into our programming, and then all this hit. And so just a few weeks went by, but I think the interesting thing about our particular business, Illuminate Sweat, is that all of us have competed in bodybuilding shows. So we specifically know what it takes for you to get in shape quickly on the diet side and on the workout side. So I think in the environment we're in, looking at the short term and what people want, is that challenges are a great way to help people get to their goal. And they don't, because nobody wants to think long-term right now. Everybody's like, what's the next thing? And so I think a challenge is a great way to help everybody get involved in their fitness center and have accountability on all that, and we can provide results fast. And so I think that's our model right now, just trying to hyper focus on, smaller level goals for people. And a challenge is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. That's terrific. So 2 more questions for you, Kristen. I've thrown you a few extras throughout our conversation today. Earlier, you were saying to us that you were remaining active with your online marketing. Now, for your target market, where is that? Is that marketing on Facebook? Is it on YouTube? Is it through SEO? Whereabouts is that for you?
Most of our marketing is done, I would say 99% of our marketing is done via Instagram and Facebook. And our Instagram for our market, for some reason, does even better than Facebook does. And so that's obviously where we get most of our leads. And then obviously our very, very warm leads are from a referral base. And so we're currently in the middle of a referral campaign contest. We're calling it the Fit Family Contest. And members have just come out and help us and giving us new leads to people to refer and to drive our business. So we're in the middle of that right now too as well. And so between those 3, those are the biggest. YouTube, we are going to start on YouTube again. We started and we didn't get a lot of success, but I think the environment's a little bit different, and we'll be able to, and we've grown. So we ourselves have more content to put on YouTube ourselves. And so I think we're going to try it again in the next few weeks. And we'll be marketing both online, 3 things: online, Spanish, and in store. Or in studio. Yeah. So
lots of options for all of your members out there. That is just brilliant. Yeah. So if we move now to our Keep Me Fit Bizpiration, and given that we have talked a lot about the marketing promotion side of things, do you want to share with us your number 1 tip to how to market packages or promotions during these challenging times?
Sure. After speaking with some other health studio owners and people that are also in the business, I think that what has made our model so successful is the accountability that we offer with all of our options. And so, you can really dive down about what people are wanting is that they want somebody to keep them accountable. And so a lot of people are offering the same type of packages, but it's not personalized, it's not specialized. And so many people, you can go on Instagram and just click on get my 30-day program, and they just email you something and then that's it. And people are doing live stream because they want that interaction, and they want every week for somebody to, they want to feel a part of your fit fam, is what we call it. And so I think that if my biggest takeaway is that all of your packages should have some sort of aspect about it, that it's 100% customer focused, and it ties them into your group, and where there's check-ins, accountability. And I think that makes a difference for people.
I can't agree more. And you're so right, because you really, I think in this time, we need to think about what is it that differentiates ourselves from all of the other offerings out there. Because really, when you're marketing online, your customer could be 5 kilometers away or 5 miles away, or they could be over here in Australia. Really, you have such a broad possibility of reach, right?
Right. And that's true, because we actually have a customer who signed up with us, and then he referred his friend who happens to be in Switzerland. And so he's currently doing the Bet on Sweat, and it's been so fun to talk to him. And he always says, thank you so much for replying back. Thank you for giving me information. I think people in this day and age, people are shocked that we still are reaching out, and we want it because their success is our success. If you fall off the wagon, you're not going to have your results. And so, I think that is such a big component that we can easily overlook. And that's probably the easiest and biggest thing to do.
Absolutely. It's a really great takeaway for everyone today. You can never, you can never over communicate with your clients or with your prospects as you can't with your team either. It's such an important component. And as you say, that personalization factor for someone to know that they're being heard, or something that is being created just for them, is a really special feeling. And it goes back to that same feeling that you get when you're training one-on-one with a personal trainer. You're getting that attention, you're getting that focus. So a really fantastic lesson. So Kristen, look, a huge congratulations on the success that you've had. I mean, for you to really tackle this head on, from opening up the studio to having to close the doors so quickly, but they're not sort of sitting back and waiting for it all to pass, but actually being proactive and continuing to market, continuing to grow the business. It's something to be incredibly proud of for you and all the team. So are there any final messages that you'd like to share with the FBP family today?
Just thank you for this opportunity to speak with you, and I wish everybody the best of luck. And this is, if we can make it through this, we can make it through anything, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, I agree. Well, Kristin, thank you again so much for joining us today, and all the very best for your reopening. By the time this goes to air, those doors will be open. So best wishes to you and the team.
Thank you so much. Great talking with you.
Thank you once again to Jose and to Kristin. And don't forget, for more COVID-19 in the trenches videos, please visit our website at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com/COVID-19-videos. Thank you all for joining me for this COVID-19 series. I cannot wait to see you next week when we resume our normal weekly show. Have a fantastic week ahead, and I'll chat to you next week.